At the start of the film, we see Chloe at the airport. Chloe's father was a pilot. It was his birthday that day. This plan was canceled because he had an urgent flight. Chloe went to the airport to meet him. While there, she noticed a reporter filming a segment about the city's devastation. Suddenly, a woman approached the reporter. She claimed that whatever is happening here, which were already decided and written in the Bible. Chloe heard this and said to the woman, "If God knows everything, then why is he letting innocent people die? He can also save them." Chloe had no answer to this, so she left. And Chloe also went to the waiting area. Then the reporter came to her to thank Chloe because Chloe had saved him from that woman. He sits here with Chloe, and Chloe tells him that my mom also has a lot of faith in God. We often have such debates. Here we see Chloe's dad, who was a pilot, and he removed the wedding ring. He now sees Chloe and the reporter sitting in the waiting area. He thinks that they have become friends. Here, Chloe also goes and meets her dad and asks him to fix her and her mom's relationship. Then Dad said, "I don't think we will be able to get better. We got married a long time ago, and everything was fine. But with time, everything got worse. Chloe's mom has a lot of faith in God. She brings God in everything, and this has ruined our relationship." After saying this, Chloe's dad leaves, and Chloe goes to have coffee with the reporter. They were talking about how people have so much faith in God. At that time, an employee from the airport comes to them and gives them 2 tickets to London. Chloe's dad thought that Chloe liked the reporter. He sent these tickets, so they spent a lot of time together. Chloe didn't want these tickets. She gives these tickets to the reporter, who was now traveling in Chloe's dad's plane. After going on the plane, the reporter returns these tickets to the pilot. Chloe had left for home. She also got her dad's wedding ring in the car, which made her very sad. When she came home, she first met her brother, whom Chloe hugged and became very happy. Now she went to her mom. She came to talk to her mom about her dad. She wanted the relationship between the two to be the same as before, but her mom was talking about God again. And in this situation, there is a fight between them. And to cheer up, Chloe goes to the mall with her brother. These people enjoy a lot here. But Chloe's brother asks Chloe, "When everything will be fine between our mom and dad?" Hearing this, Chloe got a little sad again. But to cheer up her brother, she hugged her brother and said, "Everything will be fine soon." Now she was saying that suddenly her brother disappeared. Only her brother's clothes remained in her hands. She didn't understand what happened to him. When she looked around, a lot of people had disappeared in the mall. And there was chaos everywhere. Now Chloe had not woken up from her place. She saw a car coming in from a distance. She quickly got up from her place, and the car comes in while crashing the glass of the mall. Chloe saw that the driver of this car was also missing. That's why this car was out of control, where a lot of people were scared in this mall. There, a lot of people started robbing just by looking at the mall. When she went out, there was a lot of traffic jam outside, because many of the drivers in the cars were also missing. On the other side, in Chloe's dad's plane, we are shown that everything was normal at first. But suddenly, the plane started shaking badly. When the passengers were surprised and looked around, they found out that a lot of the people sitting next to them had disappeared. Now the plane was also going in some other direction. Chloe's dad went to the cockpit and saw that the other pilot had also disappeared. Chloe's dad had taken care of the plane, but how did everyone disappear here? This was a mystery. In the plane, the reporter was recording himself. He started watching this recording as well. How did people disappear from here? But he didn't see anything in this recording either. This is all you get to see, that people suddenly disappeared. Everyone panicked because of the disappearance of their fellow people. They didn't know that more people have disappeared in the world. Getting aggressive, they start knocking on the cockpit door. Then the reporter explains to everyone that we should not be aggressive. In fact, we should find a solution to the problem. But people's anger was not stopping. The pilot, to calm down all the passengers, lowers the oxygen level of the plane and removes the oxygen masks for everyone. When everyone has trouble breathing, everyone sits on their seats. Here, the pilot was also trying to contact the airline, but he was not getting any answer. He now tells his passengers that even I don't know what's going on here. and I'm not getting an answer to this either. But instead of panicking in this difficult time, we should all find a solution to the problem by saying relax. But everyone was crying here. The reporter also started interviewing the families and friends of the people who disappeared here. Everyone said that they didn't feel anything strange here. But suddenly, their companions or their family members disappeared. Only their clothes were left here. There was also a woman here. We see that she goes to the washroom and takes some medicine, and comes and tells the reporter that all this is not real. There was also a Muslim man here. He also had a belief in God. He thought that everyone was pranking him, but a boy got up and started fighting with him. Why will we prank you? God has done all this. And because all of us have different gods, God is not able to hear us. By the way, Chloe's dad, pilot, was looking for a place in New York for the emergency landing. Because his fuel was also very less, we want to show the scene to Chloe, who somehow managed to get out of the mall and come to her car. Before she sat in her car and left, she saw a plane coming from the front, in which there was no pilot. Seeing the plane coming, she was on the side. But the plane crashed into her car, and so her whole car was destroyed. What would Chloe do? As soon as she came to the front, two bikers came in the way and stole her handbag. She wanted to run after them, but then she saw that a bus has fallen from the bridge. Seeing this, she was very scared. She went down to help the people who had fallen from the bus, but she saw that all the people on the bus had disappeared. And at this time, there was no one on the bus. While walking like Chloe, she comes to a road. And here too, she sees the same chaos that she has seen before. She was trying to call her mom too, but there was no response. On this road too, many cars had crashed. Now, while running, she goes to a shop. Many people were robbing this jewelry shop. Suddenly, someone puts a gun on her, but Chloe runs away from there. Going ahead, she saw that there was a board next to the clothes of a man who had disappeared, on which it was written, "End is here." That is, the world is going to end. She saw in the news, there was news of devastation everywhere. Not only from New York, but from all over the world, such people had disappeared. Chloe now hoped that her mom might be in the hospital. When she tried to go to the hospital, she saw that there was a lot of rush there. There was no place to go inside. Chloe came to the other side, broke the window, took entry to the hospital. But there was a lot of rush here too. She came to the burning children's ward, where a nurse told her that all the small children have disappeared, not only from this hospital, but from the whole world. The scenes again shift to Chloe's dad's plane, who was trying to land an emergency, but then another plane came in his radar. He tries to contact that plane, but it is shown that both the pilots have disappeared in that plane. But there were a lot of passengers on that plane. But Chloe's dad could not do anything for the plane in front of him. He just tries to save his plane from that plane and take it out from the side, in which he is not completely successful. His plane's wing collides with the other plane and gets damaged. Here, the reporter sees from the window of his plane that the other plane had completely crashed and started falling down. There was a small man in this plane who thought that all this work was done by a Muslim man sitting in this plane. He opened his bag and started checking, but he did not find anything other than an electric toothbrush, and that small man started getting angry at the Muslim man. Then a man relaxed him and told him that humans do not have any technology with which they can make humans disappear. This is definitely the work of aliens or some big civilization. Here his plane's wing was also shaking badly. The reporter calls the air hostess and shows all this. And the air hostess asks him to tell this to the pilot. The reporter takes a picture of it and comes to the pilot, who was Chloe's dad. Chloe's dad told him that our wing has been damaged, because of which it will be very difficult for us to land. The pilot himself had to inspect, but in the cockpit, because the other pilot was not present. So he asked Cameron, the reporter, to check the position. This time, he saw that fuel was being wasted from the wing. Before he could come and tell the pilot, a lady panicked a lot. She starts crying and says that I have to go where my son is gone. Cameron starts taking care of her, and during this time, there is a fire in one wing of the plane. This fire was caused by the constant emission of fuel. Seeing this fire, the passengers got even more nervous. Instead of relaxing everyone, the reporter Cameron tells the pilot that there is a fire in that wing. The pilot says that he can't do anything to extinguish it because there is already very little fuel in the plane. I just want to land this plane in New York before the fuel runs out. In the meantime, it is shown that the fire in the wing was also extinguished because the fuel in that wing had run out. The scene is cut, and we are shown Chloe, who had now come to her house. She saw her around her neighbors. Everyone was sad because they'd lost their someone. Chloe went to her house with a heavy heart. She was calling out to her mom, but she didn't find her mom. She only found her jewelry in the washroom. Then she found her mom's Bible, in which she had left a note for Chloe. Seeing this, Chloe got angry and picked up the Bible and threw it out of her house and came to the church. Chloe was very broken. She asked her father what was happening and why. Her father said that it was good. Whoever went from here went straight to heaven. God has also picked up the children, because the coming time is very difficult. He does not want to show this difficult time to his loved ones. Chloe did not trust him at all, so she left in anger. From here, we see Chloe's dad, who was very sad in the plane. He found his co-pilot's watch, which he picked up, and saw that John 3:60 was written on it. This was a verse of the Bible in which it is said that people believe in God. The air hostess also brings a note, in which the same verse of the Bible is written. After reading it, the pilot understood that God has picked up all the people who believed in him, and maybe his wife has also left. In the plane itself, a woman threw a gun at everyone because she felt that her husband did all this to steal her daughter. Everyone here tries to relax her. At the start of the movie, the woman, who was sitting in the plane with substances, told her that I had read in the Bible that one day God will pick up the people who love him from this world. I know all these people have gone to heaven. Hearing this, the girl with the gun breaks down and tells everyone that I can't live without my daughter. She can't even think of living without her, so she thinks of shooting herself. But here, Cameron, that reporter, Cameron somehow relaxes her. Now Cameron enters the cockpit, where the pilot was trying to connect with the airport. Fortunately, someone came there to answer him, and he was told that people from all over the world have gone missing. The pilot already knew this. He tells him that I want to land at the airport in New York. He is told that landing is not possible because many planes have already crashed there. There is no place left to land safely. Cameron was also listening to all these things. Before this pilot could take any further advice, their connection breaks. Cameron tells the pilot that he has a satellite phone. If he wants, he can talk to his daughter through it for the last time. Because now it was decided that they will die. The pilot was very emotional at this time. He says that I want to apologize to my daughter for the last time. He was looking at the tickets in his hand that he had given to his daughter. He says that Chloe wanted me and my wife to live well. Our relationship was bad, and my wife had no fault. It was my fault. Whenever my wife talked about God, I used to fight with her. Anyway, here we see Chloe, who was walking on a sad bridge. She felt that no one in her family was alive, and she should not live either. Thinking this, she climbs the bridge and is about to die, that suddenly her mobile rings. At this time, Cameron, the reporter, called her. He says that your dad wants to talk to you. The pilot takes the phone from his hand and tells Chloe that I love you very much. And whatever was between me and your mom was not at fault. Here, the pilot also tells his daughter that they cannot land the plane because there is no area left for landing. They will die now. Before Chloe could talk to them or say anything to them, their signal drops. Chloe gets off the bridge quickly and sits on a bike next to the bridge. Here we see Chloe's dad in the plane, where he tells his passengers that their plane cannot land anywhere safely. Their plane will crash in the air and everyone will die, so it is better to remember God at this time. On the other hand, we see Chloe, who came to a construction site while driving in a rush. She knew about this place. There was a very open road here on which her dad could land his plane. After clearing that place, Chloe calls her dad and tells him that she has found a place to land, but the plane's compass was not working. Chloe sends them her location, but still, the plane was getting annoyed to find the place where they had to land. Now there was very little fuel in the plane that people could not wait any longer. In the meantime, Chloe calls her dad again, and her dad tells her that the place she has chosen should have a big light, so that we can see that place and land there. Chloe gets off the car without wasting time and takes out the fuel of her car and sets it on fire. Due to the fire, the pilot saw that place. Chloe was also on the path where the plane had to land. She was moving ahead of her truck, but then she noticed the fire behind her, which was very high. Due to the accident of her truck, she gets stuck on the side, and the plane also comes here. The plane comes down and collides with some cables, but luckily the plane was fine, but the damaged wing of the plane was about to hit the ground. There can be an explosion in this way, but the pilot saved this too. And finally, he had crash-landed his plane. The plane was moving ahead where Chloe was stuck in the truck. Chloe was very scared, and she lowered her head, but luckily, the plane passed over her. She was fine. Now there was a gas tank in front from which the plane was about to collide. If the plane collided with it, there would have been an explosion in the gas tank, and all these people would have died. Before a plane collides with a gas tank, the plane manages to land safely. All the passengers were safe inside the plane, which makes the air hostess very happy, and she immediately opens the emergency slide. All the passengers get out of the plane quickly. The pilot and the reporter Cameron were also out of the plane. Chloe hugs the reporter and gives her dad his wedding ring. These people were now watching the destruction of the city in tension. All of them were very scared. Chloe's dad said, "This is the end of the world." Chloe said no. This is just the beginning of the destruction. As soon as she says this, the story ends.